Sha Tin then on Sunday for 10 races. All races are on the turf or on the sea course as well. And our feature race comes up as race number 6. That is the Chinese General Chamber of Commerce Cup. We'll be looking at that very shortly. We've got it all covered here. I'm Andrew Lejeune. Please say I'm joined by our form analyst in Paul Alley and race caller Tom Wood as well. Tom, the Cup comes up midway through the programme, but then it's a really strong finish.
Yeah, we've got Class 3s all the way home, including the Class 2, which we step up to in the final race where we see Master Montaro go around. But Master 8 going around in race number 8, and a solid field, pretty open, some of those races through the middle part of the card. Yeah,
and California Spangle returns in race 9, Paul, and lots of first starters on the programme as well.
Yeah, I like a couple too, especially early on the card in races 1 and 2. A good jackpot as well, 7.4 million into the triple trio, so that should get up to about 13 million. So there's plenty of good betting opportunities.
OK, all right, we'll kick things off with race number 1, which is a Class 4. There is a Class 5 on the programme. Comes up as the third race, this Class 4. Down the straight, 1,000-metre dash here for the opener, with 14 going to post and a few debutants in the field as well. Kai Ying's Spirit, though, second up. Third to Momentum Galaxy. Happy Valley over the 1,000. Asian One makes his debut for Tony Millard. Luke Ferraris rides him. The other debutants, Solar Partner for Ricky Yu. Super Fortune, Tony Cruz. Symphony for Casper Fowles. We've then got Wonderful Fantasy, who's second up after finishing a long way behind Nervous Witness on debut, with Cheek Pieces on for the first time. August Moon returns. Carry the Diamond coming out of the Sparkling Night race last time where he finished third. And Master of Fun first up as well for Dennis Yip and Matthew Chadwick off barrier number 1, Tom.
Well, we've got Super Fortune going forward here. He's shown really good pace in his trials. Kowloon's start jumped away a lot better than he did first up. He was up on the pace and gave you a good sight. Carry the Diamond, Kai Ying's Spirit, they'll be there. Chevelle Valiant has been handy in most of his runs to date. And of the other newcomers, you've got Symphony back in the pack there, and Solar Partner. His gate speed has just been OK.
All right, we'll have a look at a few of the first starters in a moment. We'll start off, though, with Kai Ying's Spirit. He'll be ridden by Zach Purton.
Zach Kai Ying's Spirit in the first down the straight, a horse that's won and also placed to third. He's done a good job from limited starts. How did you feel about his last run?
I thought it was acceptable. Obviously, I would have liked him to have won from that position. We got into a good spot, I thought, from a pretty poor gate, and in the straight I expected him to finish the race off a bit stronger than what he did. But he got a little bit lost, he wandered a little bit, he was a bit wary of the other horses around him, which he's got a bit of a habit of doing. And last season, I think he had 7 trials before he went to the races, whereas this season he might have only had 2. And he's a horse that just blows the house down every time you work him, and even when I worked him again this week, he's still blowing heavily. So he's a horse that might just need those extra trials and that extra racing, and he feels like he's come on from that first run, so I expect a good performance. The race, I suppose, just revolves around how good Tony Cruz's horse is.
Yeah, there's Super Fortune. He's one of a number of newcomers in the race. There's a few tried that haven't done too much as well, and he's drawn in the middle of the line, draw with top weight. How do you sort of feel that works out, top weight against a few newcomers?
I don't think the top weight is the problem for him. I think physically he's better, and I think that's going to hold him in good stead. But, you know, whenever you come up against these unraced horses in Class 4, you don't know where they're going to end up. He could end up a Class 1 horse, and Mike Blake could be a Class 3 horse, so and I've got to give weight away to him as well. So, you know, the unknown is always there, but my bloke I feel he's quite an honest horse in a few respects, and like I said, I expect him to run well.
Well, it's a good point that Zach makes. They just don't know how good Super Fortune is at this point. Paul, that was his most recent trial we just saw there while Zach was talking with Tom. But we can have a look at another one of his trials. This is on the turf. This was his first trial in actual fact. And the winner of his trial is Stronger, who's a group horse. So what do we gauge out of this?
Yeah, I thought all 3 trials have been good. This was particularly good behind Stronger. And this was his first ever trial here in Hong Kong. So I thought it was a really good trial from him. We saw him beat Kai Ying's Spirit on the all-weather trial. I think this horse is a very good horse. I really like him in this race. That's him running second with the yellow sleeves there.
Yeah, he was $1 million yearling out of Inglis, was Super Fortune. All of his trials have looked good. Strong with their Harmony Fire ran well during the week. I think Solar Partner was in that trial there for 4th as well. So he's got a really good gate speed, and that'll get him a long way.
And that first trial we saw as well, California Spangle was in there, and Sergeant Pepper ran really well last weekend. Matthew Purton is a really good opportunity for him, for Matthew. One of his rivals, though, Carry the Diamond and Kowloon East start, Tom?
Well, Kaluni Star, he missed the start badly first up, and I'd liked his trials coming into that, but put me off a little bit with that run. But he ran a bottler here at a huge price last time out, jumped better, led, and stayed on pretty well in the end, I thought.
Yeah, look, he's definitely improved, didn't he, from start 1 to start 2. And I also like the way he's been working as well. So, look, he definitely goes in for me, does Kalunista.
Yeah, Carry the Diamond will run his race.
Yeah.
He's pretty consistent. Two other first starters here to have a look at. First, Paul, is Asian 1, Ocean Park 4-year-old for Tony Millard. He's had 4 trials.
He's had the 4 trials. He's drawn nicely in barrier 12, 1,060 pounds. But being by Ocean Park, I thought this might be a bit sharp from the 1,000 metres.
He trialled in New Zealand and he was 6th in that trial with trainer Gary Hennessy. His trials have just been okay. I feel he'd be looking for a little bit more in time. Asian 1, he's drawn gate number 12, so he does have a draw on the outside, and he was finishing off there, but just the way he finished off just looks like he wants further.
OK, what about Symphony then, Tom, for Casper fans? This is the Aethero colours. I thought this trial was quite good up at Chung Fa.
Yeah, both of his trials up at Chung Fa, he's jumped away a little awkwardly in both of them, but he stayed on well enough at the end here. So 2 trials up at Chung Fa, 2nd and 3rd placings. I guess that the start might be the key for him. He's £1,052.
Yeah, so look, he's quite fit going into the race. He's had those 2 trials. He said he's by Kermadec. It's hard to gauge the Chung Fa trials. That's the only thing.
OK. Interesting that Kying Spirit's actually favourite Paul as opposed to Super Fortune. There's a bit of a buzz about him, but what do you think?
No, I think Super Fortune can win. I quite like this horse. I've liked what I've seen in the trials, and he looks very professional. So I've got him on top to beat the favourite Kying Spirit, or the current favourite at this stage. Kalunista improved a lot from start 1 to start 2. And Chevelle Valiant, blinkers go on him for the first time, and he's drawn nicely in barrier 13, 7-1-4-9.
Going with Kying Spirit on top here, number 1, should be fitted for that first up assignment, where I thought he had pretty much every chance last time out. Back to the straight, I think that'll suit. Super Fortune, number 7, 4 Kaluni Star, and 1 out of left field here, Master of Fun. If you overlook his 5 starts, where he hasn't done a lot, his 2 recent trials I thought were quite good, and he's got the tongue tie going on. He is very close to Class 5, but I thought there was some merit in the recent trials. So 1, 7, 4 and 14.
I thought that trial was OK as well. He was only beaten 69.5 lengths on his last start as well, but possibly he can improve. 1, 4 and 7, they're my top 3 as well in that opening contest. Class 4 over the 1,000 metres.